Hi everyone, welcome to the series of my English classes. Today we are going to discuss a new lesson, The Snake and the Mirror by Vaikam Mohammad Bashir. The legend Vaikam Mohammad Bashir owns a remarkable position in Malayalam literature. With his profound and simple writing, Bashir had woven a style of his own and marked his presence as a short story writer, novelist, humanist, and also a freedom fighter. Widely known as Bepur Sultan, Bashir is an unparalleled genius in the selection of themes, characterization, and narration. Bashir was honored with the Padma Shri in 1982. He bagged the Sahitya Academy Award in 1970 and Kendra Sahitya Academy Award in 1982. The Snake and the Mirror is a narrative within a narrative. The writer tells us the story which was told to him by a homeopathic doctor. As we see from the title, the snake and the mirror are the most important things in the story. So students, let's discuss the story now. Before that, let me ask you a few questions. Do you like to look at yourself in the mirror? You may think that it's a stupid question, right? Yes, of course. Because everyone likes to look at ourselves in the mirror to admire ourselves, to admire our beauty, right? Okay. Have you ever seen any animals look into the mirror? And what do you think about at such times? Okay, students, let us discuss the story now. Actually, the writer tells us the story of a homeopathy doctor who once had an encounter with a poisonous snake. It coiled itself round his left arm. The doctor was horrified and prayed to God to save him. The snake turned its head and saw its own reflection in the mirror. It unwound itself from the doctor's arm and crept towards the mirror. Now the doctor got up slowly from the chair and ran out of the house. He went to the house of one of his friends and spent the time there. The whole night he spent there. Next morning, when he came back, he was shocked to find that there was nothing left in his room. Some thief had taken away most of his things. The narrator of the story is a homeopathic doctor. And students, let me ask you a question. What is meant by a narrator? Can anybody say? Yes, correct. A narrator is a person who narrates or tells the story. Very good. What is meant by a narrator? A narrator is a person who tells or narrates the story. So here the narrator tells a story of his encounter with a poisonous snake to some of his friends. He says that in those days he lived in a rented room which was full of rats and they constantly made noises. It was around 10 o'clock at a hot summer night. He had just returned home after taking his meals at restaurant. He lighted the kerosene lamp. After some time, he opened the two windows in the room. Then he sat down on the chair and took out a book to read. Apart from the lamp, there was a large mirror on the table. So what are the things there in the table? A lamp and also a large mirror. Okay. In those days, the doctor cared much about his looks as he was a bachelor. He was a bachelor, so he cared more about his looks. Okay. He picked up a comb and parted his hair. He looked at his reflection in the mirror and smiled at his own image. He was actually admiring his beauty and he was smiling at himself. The doctor got up and he paced up and down the room. He decided that he would marry. He thought that he would marry a woman doctor who had plenty of money and a good medical practice. He decided that he would marry a fat lady so that she would not be able to run after him if he wanted to run away. Then he sat down on the chair in front of the table. There were no more sounds of rats. Suddenly, something fell on the ground with a thud. As he turned to look, he was horrified to see that there was a large snake on the back of the chair. Just then, the snake came on his shoulder. Before the doctor could think and act, the snake coiled itself around his left arm. Its hood was spread and its head was hardly 3 or 4 inches from his face. The doctor was horrified. He prayed to God to save him. It appeared as if God had heard his prayer. The snake turned its head and looked into the mirror. It saw its own image. Then the snake unwound itself from the doctor's arm and fell into the lap. From there, the snake crept onto the table. It moved towards the mirror. Perhaps it wanted to see its image closely. Now the doctor acted quickly. Still holding his breath, he got up slowly from the chair. Then he ran out of the house. He went to the house of one of his friends and spent the night there. Next morning, he came back to his room. He was shocked to find that there was nothing left in the room. Some thief had taken away almost everything from his room. There was no sign of the snake either. So students, what did you understand from this story? Was the story interesting? Yes, right? Actually, students, the story conveys a message that one should never be proud of one's beauty. We should not be proud of our beauty, our strength, or achievements. The fear of death makes a person realize how futile the worldly achievements are. It is faith in God which makes a person strong. So always have faith in God. Here, the doctor in the story is cured of his arrogance after a close encounter with death. So students, I hope you understood today's lesson. Let's meet with yet another new video. Thank you. Have a nice day.